I've started.
Okay, so 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hello and welcome back to my channel. We are here with Scared Luna to discuss the accusations against Marco Guerrero, the ex-best friend of Davhie Vanity, who is an alleged predator. So, hi Luna, thank you for being here. This
Thanks
is
for
Scared
having me.
Luna, everyone.
Hi.
Thank you very much. You're welcome. um, Without further ado, should we just jump right in?
Yeah.
All right, so my first question is, how did you and Marco meet? And did he message you first?
I know we met through Facebook. We met through some, like, Blood on the Dance Floor fan group or some scene group or something. I don't know who messaged whom first. I don't know who commented where first. We just kind of
That
did.
makes sense, of course. Do you know approximately when this was?
2014. I know exactly when this was.
All right. How often did the two of you start to speak after that?
Basically daily.
Oh, wow. How long was it after you two met that he asked for a nude? And was that the first time that he threatened suicide?
Um, I was freshly 18. I feel like that's important. And I was trying to build up my own self confidence, so I asked him if I could send him something like a loot,
Of course,
because you should be able to send that to your friends and shit.
for sure. Like,
And
PG, innocent.
yeah, well, I mean, it wasn't a PG picture, but yeah. But I
Well,
did it once voluntarily. And then I think a couple weeks later, he was talking about how depressed he was and he just wanted to see a picture of the girls in their full
don't
glory.
don't worry about it, sweetheart. He knew what he was.
Yeah, unfortunately, I had never had that type of problem before, so I had no idea what's going on. But
And you were so young.
I was fresh out of high school and brand new to Facebook and social media in general. Like I knew how social media worked, but I didn't really get into it until I was 18.
Yeah. Yeah, like it wasn't a hype for you, and then it was.
Yep, and I wasn't allowed to
Like,
have social media before I was 18, so
that definitely makes sense. Did he ever go into graphic detail in regards to his suicidal ideation?
if
Like, sorry.
it's okay. If he did, I legitimately don't remember. I know there was just a couple times where he'd say something along the lines of, everybody hates me, nobody likes me, I'm just gonna end up killing myself one day, and I would sit there like, dude, we talk daily, I obviously do not hate you. At the time,
Yeah,
at
that's
least.
weird.
Yeah, it got very annoying to me very, very quickly, actually, but I dealt
I
with it.
bet.
I dealt with it, because, suicide survivors, sometimes you just need to keep telling somebody how you feel. I just bit everywhere.
Don't worry about it. So he was playing into something personal for you.
Very.
Did he start asking for nudes often after that point?
Um, once every couple weeks ago, maybe once a month. It really depended on what was happening, and sometimes he would just, hey, are you gonna send me something today? Oh yeah, probably later. Like,
So maybe he was even building his way up to make you comfortable.
basically, that's what I think was going on because I was comfortable with it. It takes you years to really realize what was going on because even when I cut contact with him, I thought we were having like an online fling. No, that's not what was happening. at all.
It can be really hard to discern what's going on when you're stuck in the middle of this and you have somebody gaslighting you.
Oh, most definitely, it's a pain in the ass.
So did he always threaten suicide when he asked for images?
No, no, not always. There were times where he wouldn't. He'd just, hey, can I see this, that, or the other? And okay, yeah, sure, whatever. I,
Right. Well, it's still very manipulative.
it was.
Do do you think that Marco targets emotionally vulnerable women, possibly?
I think he does because he knows how to play on people's sympathies. He knows how to play the
Your
oh woe is me
heartstrings?
card. I'm sorry.
Right. Pulling your heartstrings. He knows how to.
He does, and he's very good at it.
My goodness. Did he ever get what's upset with you if you couldn't answer him back, even if it wasn't about a nude, even if it was just he's
Oh
having
yeah,
a bad day?
definitely. There were times where I have a tendency to just stop talking, stop doing everything, and just kind of hide. It's something I've always done. And
Yeah, a lot of us have been there.
but he would get really mad about it. He'd actually like, Luna, I'm trying to talk to you. Luna, why aren't you talking to me? And I'd be like, hey, look, I'm just taking a day for me. I don't want to talk to nobody. And he would just freak the hell out. And I'd be like, okay, fine, what's wrong? And everybody hates me. And I'd be like, oh, Lord, here we go again. What's really wrong? And, I was 18 playing therapist to a 25-year-old man.
So
Well,
manipulative that you can't even have a moment for yourself to process what, not to mention the fact that everybody has their own lives to deal with.
hmm plus, I was in and out of a relationship with my ex, but that's a whole nother abuse story. So, like, there was
Yeah.
actually two abuse
Really
stories
been through
happen.
it, girl.
I have, and it's annoying.
It really, really upsets me when people latch on to what they think is an easy target or latch on to the stuff you've been
And,
through. And
and I am the easiest target you know.
did you eventually say no to Marco and his requests for nudes because of your relationship? And did he react badly?
Um, no, actually, he didn't. I was like, hey, look, I'm actually in a serious relationship. This was in 2015, by the way. We met in
A
2014.
year later.
So it basically exactly a year later, I met
So
Slorfoil.
this went on. Sorry.
I met Slorfoil in 2015. He and I started talking at that time, and he's now my fiance. And I told Marco, hey, look, I'm not doing this anymore. The nudes, I'm done with it. I really just don't want to do it anymore. Plus, I'm in a serious relationship now. I don't want to make him upset. I'm trying to be calm down. I can't do that forever. No more. And he didn't even react badly. He was like, oh, okay, yeah, no problem. I can respect that. It really didn't bother him from what I could tell. It just he didn't
He
care.
was possibly trying to mislead you, and sometimes it's really hard to pinpoint what people are thinking when
Mhm.
they're predatory like this.
Oh yeah,
They're definitely. I'm no psychologist, and they're hard to analyze, especially for just the normal, everyday young woman or young person.
yeah,
So this went on for a really long time.
it did, and then it happened again in 2017.
Can't
He,
catch a break.
I couldn't catch a break from Marco until I cut him off, and then this year happens. He's doing interviews and he's lying in a lot of those interviews. News alert. And I
Using
got mad. So I messaged him and I was like, "Hey, look, what the fuck?" And he just sorry.
No, don't worry about it. Do you need a minute?
Nope, I'm good. That was weird.
Okay. Did he ever divulge personal information about his life or childhood to you? And if so, do you think he did so to emotionally manipulate you? As in,
I
what
mean,
was me?
he kind of did. It was like, look,
Vague?
like, sorry, I'm trying to remember. This was a while ago. My memory's shit. But I know
Don't worry about it.
he'd constantly talk about going to school and how nobody would hang out with him, how he was like forced to be alone all the time, which naturally I can relate to, especially back then more because I literally didn't really have friends. I had a bad time in high school and middle
Yeah,
school.
school can be hard, and it can be hard to hold on to friends from school and
And of course
dynamic with popular kids and the whole shabam.
well, a lot of people actually thought I was dead.
Like a zombie? Or
No, they thought I had offed myself. And so when this Facebook page of me came up, they were like, "Oh my God, you're alive! We haven't heard from you in like 2 or 3 years." I'm like, "Yeah, that's on me. I disappeared. Don't worry about it." So
well,
a lot
mental
of
health can do that. Like a zombie. God, I'm such a dumbass.
it's all good.
You never know with kids, man. You never know with kids.
Well, like I said, I didn't have social media until I was 18, and once people were figuring out, "Oh my God, it's Luna," it blew a lot of people's minds. But Marco really didn't divulge much about himself. He was actually a lot more private than you'd expect. Even back then, like I didn't know where he lived except for general city area and general state area, but that was about it. Like
And yet you were so close for so many years. It's
I considered him my best friend at the time.
wow. Did he ask you questions about your personal life or make you feel like you could talk to him? And if so, did he threaten to publicly divulge that information or threaten to dox you or anything?
No, I don't think he's always had this claim that he was bad with technology, and at the time he still had a flip phone. So like
Right, way back in the day, right?
back in 2014, the man still had a phone, and he never threatened to dox me. I don't think he
That's
really did. And if he did, it was probably once, and I shut it down so quickly that it probably scared him. But
but
no,
he was threatening suicide against and he wanted images and
and a
did he
video.
ever ask for a video?
Oh, yeah,
Really?
yeah, he asked for a video of me and Slurfoil
Wow.
having sex.
Your fiance?
He wanted a
He
picture.
asked for a video.
Hang on, hang on. Discord's acting up.
Take your time. It's okay.
Okay, now that the syncing is back, basically, back in 2017, before I cut all contact with him, he called me in the middle of beauty school, 3 days, 2 nights, begging for a video or a picture, something of me and Slurfoil, my fiance, going at it like rabbits. He would not leave me alone about this.
Uncomfortable.
You have no idea.
I
And
can't imagine.
it sucked because Slurfoil picked me up from school almost daily, or when he could get the chance to pick me up. And he picked me up, and I'm like half in tears, half not in tears. My phone is going off with Marco just bawling these big tears. FaceTime wasn't even a thing yet, but I could hear how big the tears were. And it fucking exhausted me. And Starfoil would, what the fuck's going on, Luna? I don't know, man. He's asking for shit, and I showed him the text messages where he asked for that, and he's like, we're not doing that." I'm like, "I know we're not, but he won't shut up." And that went on for 3 days and 2 nights.
That's so long. That must have been so emotionally and mentally draining.
It
Must have
was.
been hard to function.
It was, especially since I was still like going to school from like 9 in the morning till like sometimes it would take me till 10 o'clock to get home if I had to take the bus. And then I'd have to get up at like 5 in the morning to take the bus there some days. It was not a fun time.
You already had so much going on, and
Mm-hmm. And then I
it just
had.
ran you dry.
No, I don't need to cry. My eye is
No, I,
itchy.
he ran you dry. He
He
sucked
did.
it all out of you, all your energy and time, and you
He
have your
really
own
did.
life.
Mm-hmm.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, we can keep going or we can take a break.
Nope. Let's keep going.
So, did he? I can pretty much already guess the answer, considering this guy's a piece of work, but did he ever try to dictate what you could and couldn't do, or whether it was online or in your personal life?
Not really. Like, he
Well, he
tried.
consumed all your time.
He really did at the time.
Similar.
And like there was once where he was like, I need you to Skype me now. There's a reason why I don't have Skype anymore. I was like, why do
Me
I
too,
need to
girl.
Skype you right this second? And he's like, I want to show you something. And it ended up being like him jerking off to me. And of course, I'm 18. I don't really get what's going on. And he wanted me to hype him up. And I'm like, okay.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
Not 0 to 100.
it
You
was.
kidding me?
I wish I was.
Oh my goodness.
And like he wanted
That's
me.
disgusting. I'm
It
so
really
sorry.
was. And looking back at the moment, like in the moment, yeah, I was doing what I was being told to do because what else are you gonna do? But looking back, I was really, really uncomfortable, and of course I couldn't just get up and leave him because I didn't want to hear his mouth.
I thought he was gonna kill himself if you did.
No, well, I thought he'd either kill himself or start blowing up on how everybody, including me, hates him again, and I was not going to hear it. I
You
didn't.
must have been so done with it at that point.
Well, I was done with it when he kept saying that he wanted to come down from his state to my state, and we're not that far away from each other. We're only 2 or 3 states apart.
So this actually does tie into my next question. So he did offer, he wanted to meet up.
He did. We both did at one point. He kept offering to come down to my state because I could not get to him. There was no way for me to go from where I am to where he was. So he kept
Did
offering.
he ever offer a plane ticket or anything for you?
Nope,
Or,
nope.
well, he might not have had the money.
No, I don't think he did because it just never happened. And he would
Thank God.
he fucking constantly. I can't wait to come to the hotel room and cuddle you, YEW. Like he scene talked a lot in the year 2014.
Childlike. To appeal to you.
Oh, it was very childlike, and of course, I've 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 been online role playing for a while. Even before I was allowed to be on social media, there were other social medias that I was on. I was a role player. I'd use the scene language without it being scene language. I did the thing. However, I was also 18 and I was really outgrowing the scene uwu talk.
Yeah.
He didn't, and again, he was like 25 at the time or some shit. And it was always like, XD, I can't wait to cuddle you, YEW, uwu. And it was super weird, even to me back then. I was like, why are you talking like that? He's like, because it's fun.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Red flags.
it was little things, but he always talked about coming down to meet me and how he was gonna take me for food because I'm a hungry bitch. I'm always looking for food. He would talk about
Relatable.
he would talk about how we were gonna just play video games all the time and how we weren't gonna go to the mall and go shopping and
So
how
he was love bombing you.
basically, and of course I didn't know what that was at the time.
Who does? I mean, a lot of people, even the age we are now, even his age, they don't know the meaning of the word, and it's a very, very manipulative way of getting somebody to trust you
Hmm.
and just putting them up on a pedestal, and
And we
they're your whole world, and they
we
can
kept
save
talking,
you.
and we talked for like 3 or 4 or 5 months about him coming down, and finally I was like, "Are you coming down or not?" And he was like, "Look, I had some unexpected medical bills," or it was excuse after excuse after excuse after excuse, and finally I was like, "Okay, fine, we can keep this online. I don't care at this point." Excuse me.
You're excused. No worries. Did he ever offer to buy you any gifts or send you money? Something
He
like
he
a
he,
bribe?
he would constantly complain about how broke he was, and then turn around and be like, "I can't wait to come see you, Luna. We're gonna spend so much time together. I'm gonna buy you so much food." So it wasn't that he.
Contradictory.
I'm sorry.
It's contradictory
It
for
was. It
sure.
was
Like
very
contradicting himself.
very often too, and I didn't realize it at the time because he would like make it seem like he wasn't. He's very good at what he does, honestly.
Of course. And that's what they do.
That's how they
That's how
get
they
you.
get you. So were you a fan of Dahvie? So I know you've met in the Facebook group, and did he offer to introduce the two of you?
Actually, at the time, I did not stay a fan of Blood on the Dance Floor. Like, I heard about them in 2014. I ended my love of them in 2014. It was only like a 6 or 7 month obsession for me. And then I heard about the rumors about Davhie, and I dropped him like a bad habit.
Of course. Teenagers can be like that. One time, when things are exciting, and then no, I'm over it. Next thing, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that must have been really crazy when you
It.
heard everything that was going
Oh,
on with him.
I was looking for a meme, so I typed in Davhie Vanity memes, and all I saw was these pedophile memes. I'm like, what? And but back to your question, he did offer to hook me up with Dahvie, especially since at the time I was still a musician and I was trying to get like songs written, but I was like I could never really work with him because our sounds are too different. He's Marco was like, it's okay, he can get you into venues, he can do this for you, he can do that.
Right.
He really hyped Dahvie up. And then that's how he and I really became friends. Was he offered to get Dahvie to meet me
So
and
he
Jay.
had a personal relationship with Dahvie.
He did.
Was he like his best friend or just a friend or acquaintance?
He was a good friend. I would say Marco thought they were best friends at the time, but then it turns out they weren't. But Dahvie knows how to play pretend better than Marco does.
Of course.
So, I mean, I honestly don't know, especially since I never saw their interactions, except for a couple Facebook comments. Like, I really don't know how close they were, really, versus how close they weren't.
Yeah, and of course they can manipulate it any way they want because they're
Mm-hmm.
master manipulators.
Exactly.
Do you think he would have introduced other women to Dahvie, possibly, for Dahvie to prey on them?
Yeah.
Do you know for sure, or is it your assumption?
I'm assuming that Marco probably did do things like introduce women for Dahvie to prey on.
Well, girls.
Mm-hmm. Girls,
Girls.
girls, younger women, teenagers. It, and I don't think Dahvie really has a actual preference.
Do you think Marco did what he did to you to other women and possibly even minors?
I know he did. Not through his own admission, but I've seen the stories, I've seen the screenshots. He, after my video went out, I had a 16 and 13-year old each message me talking about, hey, we think we know who you're talking about. This is what he sent my friend who's 13. And in the screenshot, she's like, the 13-year-old says something along the lines of, hey, I'm 13. You should I thought you would have blocked me by now. And he was like, generally I would, but I have a rule about flirting with friends. And he's 31. He's talking like that to a 13-year-old, so God knows he's still manipulating. God knows how many people since 2017.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. Do you think Marco Guerrero is a predator?
He is definitely a predator and a very dangerous one at that.
How do you feel this has affected your mental health?
Um,
You don't have to share anything too personal. You don't even have to answer the question if
oh,
you
I'm
don't feel comfortable.
I'm going to answer because it's better to let it out than keep it in. But obviously, I made a video about Marco about a month or two ago, maybe 2 months. I don't know.
Link that below in the description.
Thanks.
And Scared Luna's channel.
And basically, since that video went out, well, even before the video went out, when the interviews happened and I confronted Marco and he informed me what he had done, I've been in like this really weird, almost depression, almost psychotic break, almost anxiety attack thing.
Like it's the Twilight Zone and you don't know what
Yeah.
just happened.
So basically, for like the past couple of however long since my video, I've basically been in bed. I refuse to leave the house. I mean, obviously with everything going on, I didn't really want to anyways. But since the video, I like refuse to leave the house. Whenever Silverfoil comes over, because we live separately still, whenever he comes over, I freak out at least once. Whether when it's him leaving or him, like, we could just be talking about one thing and then I'll just start panicking for no reason. I can't make YouTube videos like I want anymore, and every time I tried it's all monotone and it feels wrong, and like, I can't just go get help right now because nobody can help me and all the doctors are closed and it's ridiculous.
It's been so taxing in the moment as well. I can't imagine how the aftermath affected you.
And I didn't really realize, like, there's a couple screenshots that I'm in that talk about Marco. I'm in all 3 screenshots. And I was reading back what I was saying, like, Marco and I were in a fling. That was not a fling. That was not an online relationship. That was an online abuse situation. I fucking, I don't even remember what all I said in those screenshots right now because there was just so much, but yeah. And it's like the older I get, the more I realize how fucked the situation is, and the more I realize I'm 24 now. I feel weird talking to people who I'm friends with who are like right at that 17, 18 line, and everyone's like, you can talk to them, they're still people, and I'm like, I just don't want people misconstruing my shit. Because they will.
Well, speaking from personal experience, it's very normal to become an adult and realize just how manipulative and disgusting some of the things that adults thought were okay, adults that should have known better at the time, adults that you trusted.
Like, when the 16 and 13-year-old messaged me, I had a panic attack because I was like, I should not be talking to them. Now, obviously, you can talk to people who are underage, as long as you're not being a fucking creep, Marco, Dahvie. But therein lies the difference. I'm not being creepy. I don't think of kids like that. Ugh. I just talk to people because they're people. Makes the difference.
You weren't malicious and abusive.
No, I'm just talking to
Like,
people because,
these.
sometimes they're in the same fandom as me. Sometimes you just start talking to people you don't know how old they are, and you just strike up a conversation. You know?
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Innocent,
Yeah.
of course. Did Marco say that he sent your nudes to anyone else?
He sent them to Dahvie, and he said that straight to my face when I confronted him a couple months ago.
Oh my god.
He called me because he wanted.
Without your consent.
I had no idea until he told me. Because I confronted him about the interviews. I'm like, what are you doing? You can't sit here and play abuser advocate. And after all the
I
shit
know
you
what you're
pulled
saying.
with me, you can't sit
Like,
here and
it's like
play
he's
this.
trying to get. It's like he's trying to wiggle his way in and be some kind of survivor advocate, which is insulting, disgusting, and
And
predatory.
and it pissed me off. So I confronted the
And
bastard. And I was
if
like,
anything, he wants to be around more vulnerable women.
that's that's why I confronted him. And he's like, you saved my life. I'm so grateful to have known you, even if we don't talk anymore. I hope we talk again soon. I knew after that phone call we weren't talking again. And we were video
I
chatting.
love on you again.
He wanted to, yeah. Unfortunately, it's not happening. And he was like, by the way, you need to know something. Everything that I got from you went to Dahvie, and I record scratch. Everything just like the world stopped. I couldn't hear for a second. I couldn't think for a second. And I said, "You did what?" He's like, "That video of you and slower foil that I was asking for, Dahvie wanted it." And I'm like, "Excuse fucking me?" And he explained to me that Dahvie was in his town. He was visiting Marco, and Dahvie had a crush on me. Dahvie had a thing for me. But I had Dahvie blocked. I've had Dahvie blocked for years. And, he was harassing Marco for this video of me. And my fiance, that happened sex.
Do you think that's true, or do you think he was trying to take the easy way out, make some kind of excuse?
I think it's kind of a combination of both. I think both things are true. But he said it so easily. It's like he wasn't even relieved to
He
say it.
didn't
He
even
just
care.
exactly. He wasn't relieved to say it. He just dropped it like a ball and was like, "Oh, hey, by the way," and it was like, "You did what with where to who?" And so,
He doesn't even understand why that's a violation.
not just a violation, but you literally took these private pictures of me that shouldn't even exist anymore. Now I don't know if they still exist or not. Because you sent them to someone else after I told you to delete them when I told you that we weren't doing it anymore. Which he said he deleted. He told me he deleted them. God
And
knows. And then here he is saying, "Oh yeah, by the way, I sent them to Davhie Vanity, the worst musician predator so far that we know of on
either he
in
deleted
internet
them, and that's
history."
the lie, or he sent them to Dahvie, and that's the lie. Either way,
It's still
he's a
fucked.
liar.
And even if he did send them to Davhie, that's fucked. If he didn't send them to Dahvie and they're trying to make Dahvie look worse, that's even more fucked.
Using him as a scapegoat.
Mhm.
And now he's using him to get clout with survivors, it seems, which is. I don't have the words,
You
so I'm just not.
you cannot play victim when you yourself are an abuser.
No. what would you say to Marco if he was listening?
Hey, fuck you. You've had this coming for years. You trying to play innocent with how many stories that are coming out since the video I made, since the video Corrupt made. You had this coming. And you better stay the hell alive for when someone has evidence. I may not have the screenshots of our conversation, but I have other things. Try me, bitch.
Time is up.
Try me. And where's that video you wanted to make, Marco? I thought you said you were going to go to war to protect
Where
your
are
name.
you? Just gonna
A-
flitter away? Take a hiatus from Twitter? Real innocent looking.
As the Phantom of the Opera would say, why so silent, good monsieur? Come on.
We're
Where's it
waiting.
at, bitch?
What would you say to women that speak to Marco now that may not know what he's like?
Run. Get the hell away from
Short and
him.
simple.
Do not talk to him anymore. He will sit there and try to play victim and say that I'm blind, that other women, people who aren't women, people who X, Y, and Z, it doesn't matter. He's going to try to make me seem like the bad guy, make the other victims seem like the bad guy because it happened so long ago. He literally, a couple months ago, told a 13-year-old that he doesn't flirt with friends. This happened like a week after my video came out a month or two ago. You
Very
can't.
concerning that he's even speaking to people that young when he has this history.
Exactly. And
he's probably doing this currently.
that's what I'm afraid of. That's why I've been so hell-bent on trying to spread this message of get away from him. He is not your friend. He is pretending to be your friend to get what he wants, which is...
Don't let him pull your heartstrings.
Exactly. He will sit there and tell you he's going to kill himself. No, he's not. He's really not going to. And if you're that concerned about his safety, call the suicide prevention hotline and please ask them what you can do to help.
This should not be anyone else's job.
And
like,
it's...
you were just a young, freshly 18-year-old
I literally
kid.
had just graduated high school when I met him. Marco is not your friend. He does not love you. And he does not think of you as his best friend. He is using you.
You okay, Luna?
Yep, I'm good.
I'm so sorry this happened. Nobody deserves this. It's disgusting. I really hope you know it's not your fault.
I know. I mean,
He knew.
logically,
He knew how to.
Logically, I know that's not my fault. I was 18. I was brand new to social media. I didn't know half this shit. But then the emotional side of me is like 180 from that.
You want to see the best in people. You want to care, and you want to think people are good.
Yep. Still do. I still have that problem.
Don't we all? Or at least some of us. Are you alright for the last question?
Yep.
What would you say to anyone who has possibly already been hurt by Marco as well, just like you?
If you have the evidence, if you have the screenshots, please take them to the police. If you have voicemails, if you have anything physical that can prove that you are under duress, that you are coerced. Fucking hell, I know all cops are bad, but right now you need to take it to somebody. Talk to lawyers. If you're like me and the shit's so long gone that it's fucking gone, speak up still. I stand with you. Panda stands with you. All of us, we all stand with
I will
you.
stand with you.
We will listen. But you cannot stay silent. We cannot let Marco do this. He's more dangerous than Dahvie because he can hide in the shadows. He is your average Joe. He is almost like your next door neighbor with suicidal ideations. But he's your neighbor. He's the guy that you bump into by accident at the grocery store. He is so dangerous because he can fly under the radar. He's not like Dahvie. Everybody by now knows Dahvie's name. Not everybody knows Marco, and just by speaking up, that's enough.
And to any potential survivors watching this, even if you don't feel like you can come forward for whatever reason, that is your own reason and that is okay. But just please know that it is not your fault.
And you are not alone. You were never alone in this.
Is there anything you would like to add?
No. Nothing I can think of.
All right. Well, thank you so much for sharing your story.
Thank you for having me.
All right. We'll keep in touch, of course.
Naturally.
And you'll be letting me know if there's anything else I can do. I'm promoting this on my Twitter, on my everywhere I can. I've just made a connection on Instagram. Let's make people aware at the very
Yep.
least. All
Oh,
right. Stay safe, everyone.
sorry, before we end the video,
Yes?
don't go after him. Do not send him hate messages. Please just stay 50 feet away from him.
Mm-hmm.
And
Don't engage.
do,
Walk.
do not engage with him. Just before I forget, do not send him hate mail. Do not even send him love mail. Do not send him mail.
We won't be linking his socials either. So.
Nope. And comments that do will most likely be deleted.
Oh, I will be watching for those, okay?
I will too. Okay. Bye.
All right, so this was Scared Luna, and thank you everyone for tuning in and watching. Remember, always love yourself and be yourself, because those who matter don't mind, and those who mind don't matter. Bye.